Thomas Millian here with the fifth installation of our study on the Sabbath. Here's our question. Does God agree with the modern activity of the weekend? Generally, no. The biblical concept of the Sabbath stands in contrast to a weekend dominated by sports, chores, and entertainment. Modern activity. Weekend. Activities and sports, often competitive, physically draining, or commercial. Biblical Sabbath principle. Cessation of your own ways. Means stop your old ways. The Sabbath is intended for physical rest and spiritual focus. Activities that are mentally or physically exhausting or that require others to work for you, coaches, referees, vendors, can violate the spirit of rest and holiness. Modern activity of the weekend. Yard work, house projects, productive, self-serving labor. Rest from the servile work. This is a key prohibition. It's in Exodus chapter 20, verse 10. Ceasing from your ordinary work, which includes household work and projects. The Sabbath is a day to remember that you are not the ultimate provider and that the world will not fall apart if you stop striving for it for one day. Modern weekend activity, barbecues, social gatherings, cooking, cleanup. Biblical principle. Delight in God and relationships. Socializing and enjoying time with family is encouraged. However, if the preparation, cooking, or cleanup of a large barbecue becomes a burden or an extension of work for someone in the household, it may miss the spirit of rest. Modern activity of the weekend, waiting or true rest. Biblical principle. Focus on God and spiritual renewal. Jesus said, the Sabbath was made for the man, not man for the Sabbath. Mark chapter 2, verse 27. The goal is not merely inactivity, but rest that restores the soul. This is time for worship, Bible study, prayer, quiet contemplation, enjoying creation, and nurturing relationships. The core idea is to shift your focus from production and accomplishment, which defines the other 6 days, to worship and enjoyment of God's gifts. Why does it matter if we cook on the Sabbath? Or does it matter if we cook on the Sabbath? This is one of the biggest debated and difficult questions in Sabbath observance, and the answer differs significantly between religious traditions. Interpretation: strict, traditional Jewish and Sabbatarian Christian. Cooking is prohibited. Biblical basis, application. The command in Exodus 16, verse 23 regarding the manna. Bake what you will bake today and boil what you will boil, and what remains lay up for you to be kept until morning. This is interpreted as the command to do all major food prep the day before Friday, the preparation day. Interpretation: lenient, most mainstream Christian. Cooking is generally allowed, but keep it simple. This view focuses on the spirit of the law and Jesus' example of prioritizing human need over strict rules. Mark chapter 2, verse 27. If cooking is simple, joyful, and does not require an undue burden of labor, especially on service workers at restaurants, it's acceptable. The primary purpose is not to labor. Interpretation: the middle ground, the spirit of the law. View on cooking: focus on simplicity and preparation. Many families aim to compromise, prepare all difficult, labor-intensive food on Friday, chopping, marinating, baking, and on the Sabbath only do simple warming or light assembly. The point is to make the Sabbath a day of rest for the cooks and the family as well. Be back with the conclusion.